on the on Instagram, and I'm having a little difficulty. I'll go live now. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. All right. All right, live on Instagram, live on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram on my phone because we're using an app called Flutin to go live across multiple platforms. So, this sip of water. This is my podcast mug. I do a podcast called the Self-Help Coaching Podcast, which is related to Perficio, but not directly, indirectly, almost directly. All right, we're getting started here, and I also can now I can on my on this Flutin app, which puts me live on 3 platforms. YouTube, I can see any comments from YouTube, but on my app. But on Facebook, I have to go. Okay, on LinkedIn. Okay, I have to click on the go live to LinkedIn, and I also have to mute my speaker so there's no feedback. Get ahead of the game on that, so I can see any comments on LinkedIn. And now I will do the same for Facebook. And this is the way I can interact with people. If you write comments, I can see it on Facebook. I can see it on the live sections, but I can't see it in my Flutin app. Okay, getting started. Okay, enough of that. All right. So what's this all about? You may have heard me talk about in the past this thing called Perficio. First of all, I was a personal development coach, and then I headed a technological coaching company, which is what I am now, to create this thing called Perficio. Sorry, technical thing. And what is this thing? Well, it is the world's first self-help coach. So it's an app on your desktop computer, on your cell phone, your smartphone, that's totally customized to you as a person. And it does a number of things, but what it basically does is that it ensures that you don't fail. This is a guarantee against failure. It prevents you from quitting. And that's when you're out. That's when it's over, when you quit. Now, in NLP, I'm an NLP practitioner. They say that there's no failure, there's only feedback. I believe that to an extent. If you return to the thing that you were pursuing, then it's feedback. And you go, okay, what did I do wrong? What adjustment can I make? Then it's feedback. If you don't do that, then it is failure. If the quitting is terminal, if the failure is terminal, that's failure. So this app, Perficio, make sure that you don't do that in the most intuitive way. But I want to be very clear. This is not life coaching. All right. I was a life coach. This is not life coaching. Life coaches help anyone pursue any goal. You can hire a life coach to help you do this. It would cost you a lot of money, a couple of $1,000 just for a year to help you get everything you wanted from a self-help course, which is what Perficio does. And let me tell you right off the bat, so Perficio, the reason why I made Perficio is because that I love self-help, but I also saw that, it didn't work. If self-help worked, I would have been a millionaire a long time ago. Took a lot of self-help books and courses, and I've got something out of them, but not anything like I wanted to. So I had a lot of disappointment and anguish, and this is an extremely common problem, indeed, source of probably most of the criticism for self-help. People have all these dreams and aspirations, and they make claims, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And most of it never happens, or none of it never happens. Well, I realized that, and so I went about solving this problem. So I've been at this for actually over 8 years. 4 years of pre-development. We formed the company Auxilium. My partner, Daniel Rosinski, tech guy. I'm not tech. I'm a personal development coach. And we made this app, and we've had 4 years of development, over 4 years, and now we've had a number of delays, primarily undercapitalized. Something like this usually costs at least $500,000 to make. We're coming in at just about 300K right now. I thought I could do it for much less. No, 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 no. This is too complex. It's too novel. It's too unprecedented. Nothing like this has ever existed before. Thank you for joining me on Instagram. Thank you for joining me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and of course, Facebook on my personal page. So, it was complex in that regard, but also now, so we announced we were going to launch about a month ago, but because it's so complex, we've got to make sure all these moving parts work precisely correctly together. Otherwise, it's not going to work, because we want a user experience where people love it, love it, because not only because it's so great, but it changes their life in effect. So that, and also getting the app, having all our ducks in a row with with Apple and these apps. So it's a very complex thing. This is not a little thing. This is not like hiring a coach. You can do that pretty quickly. This has taken years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to create, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I've learned so much, and I've been at this for a long time. The primary reason is that this, quite frankly, creating Perficio has been the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. And I've been through, I'm 57 years old. I'm an ex-addict. I've been homeless in Los Angeles 30 years ago. I was a paratrooper, infantryman in the Army, blah, blah, blah. I've been around. I've had my share of bruises. This has been the most difficult thing, but I never gave up for a number of reasons, not the least of which is this is the most promising thing. This is going to change the world. This is going to change you. This is going to change you. It'll change anyone who uses it, because that's what it's designed to do. And we put so much care into making sure that's what it does. So it is a self-help coach. So any self-help course, you can take a book and make it into a course and then plug it into Perficio. Perficio will coach you to learn it. Well, let me back up a second. The problems with self-help. See, I isolated the 4 problems of self-help. Hey, Joe, there's my old buddy Joe. He just commented on Facebook. It's great. The problems with self-help are, I isolated the 4 universal and common problems with self-help. As a person, they get all excited about something, Tony Robbins, whatever, and they buy the book, they buy the course, and they never even start it. Never start it. Actually, much more common than you might imagine. The second one is that they don't apply what they learn, the user, the student, right? And by the way, I coined the term client for the user of Perficio. Now, I was a coach, and professionals that have customers, they call them clients. Customers are clients for professionals, coaches, lawyers, therapists, right? But a person who uses self-help, a book or a course, they're not clients of anybody. They're a customer of what a book or a course. They're students of self-help. That's the body of work. So Perficio is a completely novel experience. Nothing like this has ever existed before. Nothing. This is completely novel. This is unprecedented. This is a game changer, and it combines the experience of a client, a coaching client, and the student, a self-help student, and it puts them together in this novel electronic digital age experience. And I coined the term client and student together, client. I know it's corny, but you know what? New things often are, until you get used to it, and they get accepted. Then it's not normal. Then it's not corny at all, and you're using it. Oh, how long have you been a client? Oh, you just became a client? I've been a client for years. So a person doesn't apply what they've learned, all right, while they're taking a course, which is the best time to do it, because that's when you learn it the best, by applying it. Experience is the greatest teacher. And then finally, they don't complete a course that they took, all right? They're good. This is what I suffered from mostly. World's greatest starter, world's worst finisher. So many things that I started, and this is not just books and courses, so many things in my life. I started with the intention to do, not only complete it, but do great with it, and never even got to the completion, never mind doing great with it. And this is extremely common, right? And those are the 3 problems of the home study course, all right, of self-help. But those 3 aren't even as important as the most important solution that Perficio offers you, the user, the client, and that is to continually apply what you've learned after the course is over towards your relevant goals. That's what you learned it for. You learned something to do something with it. That's the purpose of learning anything, right? You know, the great misconception that's out there in the world is countless misconceptions and half truths is that knowledge is power. False. Knowledge is not power. Only applied knowledge is power. Otherwise, it's just data. It's just information. If you don't do anything with it, if nothing is done with data and information knowledge, it is useless. You might as well not even know it. You might as well never even read that book, took that course, unless you're applying it. That's the only time it has power. All right, and that's people get confused about that. So this is the most important thing that Perficio does. After the course is over, the second part, which is called stay the course, kicks in. And this gets you to, this is not focused on learning. This is focused on action towards what? Your relevant goals that you clarified and refined during the course. Right now, we only have one course. We have Benjamin Franklin's The Way to Wealth. This is our pilot course. I figured I'd get the guy that's most credible, Benjamin Franklin, who's like the world's greatest self-made man. And he wrote that long ago, and it's never went out of print. It's still in print today. We had Ben Franklin expert and I collaborated, and we made this into an incredible financial course, all true to Ben Franklin's principles. And we made this course where you learn how to become well. The course, it's based on his book called The Way to Wealth, and we adapted it truly. But we translated it for the modern audience and made it more applicable today. And it is completely applicable. And if you follow the principles of this course, you will become wealthy. You will become wealthy. And the thing is that Perficio gets you to do just that. You will become wealthy. So if you are interested in finance, right? If you're interested in finance, if you're interested in wealth, this is for you. Yeah, that has a broad appeal. So that's our first course. Perficio will get you to learn and apply everything you need to know towards your financial and wealth goals when you take The Way to Wealth by Benjamin Franklin. Now, let me go into the benefits. Perficio is a novel app. It's completely new. Nothing like it has ever existed before. Like I said, in business, if you have two unique features, that is competitive. They're like, okay, we can invest in this. We can put it out there. If you have three, you consider it to be a winner. Perficio has 15 unique features. 15. It's incredible. I know I'm patting myself on the back. I created it. Believe me, not by myself. I had many tech people and lawyers, patent attorneys, whole teams. Right now there's 20 people involved in launching it. To create it, I'm just the coach who dreamed it up and saw how it could all work together through lots of adjustment and refinement. Let me tell you, years of it, man, countless hours, thousands and thousands of hours to make this thing work. And it, sorry about that, technical stuff here. So it will coach you to learn. By the way, it coaches you to learn using accelerated learning, which is the best learning there is. You learn much quicker, and you remember far longer using accelerated learning techniques. I figured, why not? If you're going to have them coach them to learn, why not use the best method? But it gets you to apply what you've learned towards your goals. So in The Way to Wealth, say if you want to create $1 million business, right? A business that has an annual revenue of $1 million gross. The Way to Wealth will help you do that, and it will ensure that you do that. So you can have $1 million with The Way to Wealth. That sounds like a boast? Sign up and find out, because you will learn what it takes, and then you will be coached to implement what you've learned towards this business. Whether if you say it's not even created to create this business, to do what you've got to do continuously. It will get you to coach you continuously to take action towards what you want, your goals, using this knowledge, and it doesn't let you quit. And it'll coach. And the beauty of being coached continuously towards your goals is that you work on it continuously. And when you do that, that's when you achieve your goals very quickly, or even far quicker than you may have imagined. Because we work on goals, but it's hard to do it with consistently or daily or actively enough, and you get lackluster results, or things take really long. But if you're a coach to do that daily, and it's completely intuitive. That's the great thing about Perficio. Well, many great things is that it's intuitive. It knows when to back off. It says the right things to you. It's totally customized to you, the individual. I'm Tony Petroza. If I'm taking Perficio, it coaches me exactly like Tony Petroza needs to be coached, because it has to be that way. It has to be customized for me as an individual. It has to. That's why you have to take a whole psychological profile first, right? You have to take assessments. It has to get into your head to find out what makes you tick, because only what makes you tick is going to make you move. Things that work for you aren't going to work for me, and all the way across the board. A person has to be coached as an individual. This is what you learn in basic coaching and any other coaching. That you can't coach a person from where they want to be. That's useless. That's a fantasy or an imagination. That's great, but you can only coach someone from where they are, who they are, and then you help them get to where they want to be and who they want to become. That's how coaching works. That's how evolution works. Success, right? It's a process. So that's what Perficio does. So now, so I was saying that we had three unique features is considered to be a winner. We've got 15. Okay, and I will briefly go through what these 15 unique features are, and then the video will be over. The first one is that it's a true virtual coaching program that is delivered through and for an e-learning platform. So Perficio is a coach that lives on an e-learning platform, right? And right now we have the Way to Wealth on that platform in our catalog. Later on, we will open up our catalog after we do the upgrade, and we will have hundreds. We'll have double digits, right? Then triple digits, hundreds, then thousands of courses on Perficio. Right now, it's only a financial one, the Way to Wealth. Okay, so any Scholastic course, instruction book or training can be adapted to it, and you can take it on Perficio. That means you'll get everything you want out of it and get to apply it towards the pertinent, relevant goals. Okay, so everything is automatic, right? There's no human person. There's no proxy for me. I am not the world's first true self-help coach. I created it. It's a robot. It is a computer program. All right, everything is automatic. Everything is automated. Okay. Which is great. So there's no judgment for you. There's no fear. You don't have to worry about your fear of failure, because it's just a computer program that's helping you. No one knows anything about you. There'll also be an optional group interaction, which is very valuable. We'll get into that in a moment. But you don't have to worry about being coached by someone who may judge you, which only a terrible coach would do that. But it's a fear that people have nonetheless. But it's completely automated. Everything about it is all automatic. The third thing is that it assesses I mentioned this, I alluded to it. It assesses a user's personality filters and strategies, personal beliefs and goals. Why? Because these 4 elements are necessary to keep you motivated and get you action oriented, and to keep you motivated to learn and learn deeply, and then to take action both during the course and then subsequent to course and stay the course. So since Perficio knows you so well, because it knows these things about you, it knows your psychological strategies, your filters, what you want to achieve, what you believe about yourself that empowers you or limits you. And then it also uses that information to motivate you, right? And to get you moving. But it collects all that information at the outset. That's in the preparatory phase. A lot of people wonder about, how come I'm not a winner? People don't realize what it takes to win. Well, what it takes to win is preparation, right? You see a winner, cross the finish line, like, there's the winner. Well, I want to be a winner. Well, you got to put in countless hours, thousands and thousands of hours to be that winner. Well, here you don't have to do that with Perficio, but you do have to take the assessments, which is in the preparatory phase, which assesses these things that I mentioned and some other parts too of your psychology. The next thing it does is that it collects various data, including audio, visual, and verbiage from you that can be used to motivate you later on. All right, so it's completely personalized for you. What the things that motivate you are really personal and subjective. So what motivates you won't motivate me, and that's an important thing. And it collects that information from you to be used later on. Either it can be used during the course, but it, there's all sorts of motivational things going on during the course. But it's most that stuff is mostly reserved for when you need it, and Perficio will sense it and then will utilize it. It coaches a user to learn the course using accelerated learning techniques. I mentioned that you learn far more deeply and remember things much longer. I'm not going to get into the stats, but it's the most superior way to learn. And basically you use visual, audio, and doing is the best, but text can also be physical too. So it uses all those things in conjunction and compounding them to learn more deeply. And it also uses your preferred learning style, which everyone has one. Okay, it has a multiple paces that auto adjust for the user. This is very important too. A lot of people want to learn different ways, fastly, slowly, with guidance, without guidance, in social situations, with not in social by themselves. Perficio manages all 6 of these together so that it's a smooth thing. So and it's everything's automatic, like I said. If you wanted to say you wanted to take the way to wealth, but you wanted to do it fast, right? And just there's 2 group paces, fast and slow, and then there's the self pace. Those are the 3 paces. Say you want to learn in the fast group pace, which is 3 days per lesson. So you started it, and then maybe something happened, or you found you couldn't even keep up. What will happen is Perficio will automatically the next week put you in the slower group pace, okay? Because you weren't able to keep up with the fast pace, right? What we want and what we expect are different than reality, right? So it automatically puts you in the slower pace, which is an entire week for one lesson. So it takes you 5 days to finish the lesson. And say you can't keep up with that because let's say something happened, you want to go on vacation or whatever. Well, then it'll automatically put you in the self pace, okay? And you can start it off at any of those 3 paces or end up in the self pace because Perficio auto adjusted for you to make progress. It's all about progress. Progress is everything. Okay. The next thing is that it has an organized and always easily accessible cumulative group interaction. I mentioned this. This is great. I mean, having a group to learn and to apply what you learned is fantastic. But sometimes you may not want that. Maybe a lot of times you don't want that, or maybe you don't want it at all. Well, we always have it available to you. The group will always be available for you to interact with in Perficio. So in this, this can be so much gotten out of the group dynamic, multiple levels of effect, and it's always available to you, and it's always organized. So it's at an instant you are interacting with people in the appropriate area for the context or the present lesson that you are dealing with. So that's the beauty of it. This is one of my favorite parts of it. So it's whether you want to do things by yourself or with others, all the time, some of the time, middle, a mixture. Perficio is perfect for you. I designed it that way. The next thing is that during the course, it collects more data from you and leverages